Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and Annette was sick yesterday, so we're actually doing a 3-day wrap-up from the weekend plus Monday's properties, which means we've got 30 of them, and I better strap on my big boy pants because it's a big list. So let's get started with Maple 284 886, which is kind of a bizarre number. I mean, unless there's a bucket load of properties at 285, there's no reason to kind of have a weird number like that. It's a Hampton model, 893 square feet, but it's still a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. So I would be holding out for at least a 2-bedroom for around this kind of price range. It does look like it backs onto something nice off the balcony. So overall, to me, I would just choose something else for the same price. Mortimer's 384. The other thing we did is we clicked the link right below the map to the prices so that they would order from low to high. This is a Woodbine 1356 square feet, and we have seen this model sell for this. Whether it's a larger, like unless there's 2 bigger bedrooms or 3 smaller rooms, this one has the 3 smaller rooms, it doesn't change the value a whole lot. 3 bedrooms does open your audience up a little bit, but there are probably close to as many people that would rather have 2 larger rooms. Because those ones are small, they're only 8 feet wide. So you put a bed in there and you're kind of hopping over the bed to get to the other side. Schreier is a Brent Grove end, a little under 1,300 square feet. And it's got carpet throughout. Right away I'm looking at this, and unless there's something special in here, that's the high end of what they sell for, so better be upgraded. Saytok is a semi-detached 30 by 116 foot lot, $399. Obviously undercutting the one that listed probably a week or 2 ago. And yeah, there you go. I guess, you know, it's got a good location close to the mall. That roof from the pictures looks like it's a little bit older, but that can sometimes just be the angle of the shot. So definitely pay attention. You're always looking at roof, window, furnace, air conditioning as your big capital costs when you go through a house. Chooch Match is an Emery model, 1370 square feet. We just sold one on a deeper lot with hardwood floors on the main floor, up in the mid 420s. So it's a little bit high, but there's not a lot out there, and I could definitely see that one selling in the teens, in the 410 to 420 range. So Farmstead is 429 786. So this layout is around 1,500 square feet. There's way too much crap on the counters here, which is unfortunate because they actually have some pretty good upgrades on this one. So I have a feeling that this is going to be the real draw for this house. It's got a pretty open concept main floor. It also has a walkout basement, which is a very positive thing. Overall, the price seems definitely in line. We've got one on Ferguson, which is basically the same model as that one, but it's in an older area. Now you get a little bit more lush greenery behind when you look at the forest and the trees and what's surrounding, but it's really very similar floor plan. I think it's a little bit different because it's on the end and you get a little bit more space, so it might beat the other one with space, but there you go. It's a nice view there. It looks like a school portable right here, so you could be beside the school parking lot at Guardian Angels. I didn't have a chance to check that. So they both have different value, but I think they're both, you know, pretty good deals for what we've seen them sell for. Both of them will have a fee between $50 and $80 a month for garbage and snow removal. Cartman Way is $439. Not my favorite property for this price, but you do get a finished basement. So you look at something like the 419 Emery model townhouse, and you say you add the finished basement here. Completely different area. They could have taken the Christmas lights down too. That was a little bizarre. But yeah, you get a decent amount of living space for that money. 8484 Guelph Line, pretty much entry point in the country. It's just under half an acre, and you know, not bad inside. Like really, this one gets an endorsement. You probably get a little bit of that mushroom farm smell for where this one is. Guelph and Limestone, a little bit south of Campbellville. It has running water. That's the only reason I could think they put that photo in. But a good chunk of land. You've got probably a bungalow built anywhere between 1950 and 1970. Usually they're pretty solid. So overall, it's good. You got your well and septic there, which a lot of people say, oh, I'd love to move out to the country. Well, you're going to have some different stuff there. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 washroom as well. But like I said, that you can't get country for much less than that. People think the further you go out from Milton, the lower the price is, but the problem is the land gets bigger, so the value just comes from a different place. Black Drive is $460, and it's just kind of a blah one. It doesn't really, it's got a finished basement. It's more than 1,500 square feet. You're linked by the garage only. So on paper, the value's there, but it certainly doesn't show very well from what you see here. There's a tenant, so who knows what the condition's going to be like. Lawrence Scott's on the north side of Lawrence Scott's. The south side backs onto the Main Street Commercial. You have a carport here, which wouldn't be tremendously difficult to build a garage. You've got your roof line already set up. You're just building basically the structure around it. The green apples in the kitchen. You've got a pretty decent sized kitchen here. You've got a little area for prepping food. You've got a breakfast area, which you don't usually find in bungalows. And you've still got your 3 bedrooms here. The third bedroom is 9.84 by 7.5, so it's pretty tight. So it's almost like a 2.5 bedroom from how I look at it. And then you've got your fancy little hot tub enclosure, above ground pool. I'll tell you, $479 doesn't look too bad on this one here. It's definitely a lot more value than I've seen in this neighborhood in a while. So Andrews Trail is a big 2,200 square foot townhouse. $499 is the price. I mean, you have options at $499. Like you could buy a detached home for this kind of price. And the other thing that I'm not crazy about is that you've got your train tracks and you have Thompson Road here too. So I don't know how much usable backyard space would be here. So it's basically a huge townhouse. I would even go for a semi-detached around around $500,000, and you can get a very nice one for around this price. Probably before I'd go to something like that. Location is not my favorite. Dymont's $499, 1,600 square foot detached homes. So these are actually perfect examples of equivalent value of what else you can get. Yeah, so it's not a bad layout. It's 3 bedrooms plus there's a loft upstairs. And this looks like it's pretty much in line with what's been selling. It's nice to see them under 5. I think they would have killed their momentum above 5. Aired court is 1,900 square feet. I don't have photos for it. Plus it has a finished basement. We sold one on aired, and I'll refer back to this a couple times, in the mid 530s, and it was 2,200 square feet plus a finished basement, done very well. So these guys are 300 square feet smaller. And they're asking, you know, 20,000 less. So the area could sustain this kind of price. We don't see a lot of that model that's sold. We see a lot more of the Azalea model. Dredge Court, right beside the train tracks, $519. Townhouse, that's a lot of money for a townhouse. It's a nice looking townhouse, but again, I would go to aired probably before I go to this one, even though I don't have a lot of information about aired. If it's decent finishes, I think that aired just offers more long-term value with that finished basement and being a semi. Pinehurst model on Dymont, 1822 square feet, $539 is the price. I don't know if I love the wall color here with these color of cabinets. They've got a nice upgraded countertop, California shutters, gas stove, but I think the wall color is really hurting these guys. Imagine if they had that color of wall over in the kitchen. It would blend much better with the cabinets and the counters. You're okay to go with color, obviously, in the bedrooms, but I think that that kitchen color is going to throw people off. That is the parking lot at P.L. Robertson School. So you're about 4 or 5 doors in from the intersection of Scott and Dymont going west. So there you go. Not a bad looking home. I like the layout of this one. You can also, we have seen people that have done a second parking space right beside, because the house is flush with the garage, so you have an equal amount of space for both of them. It does really kill your front lawn, but you know, it can make sense so you're not playing the switcheroo game with the cars. Jackman Gate is one of my picks of the day. Quincy Corner, a little under 1,900 square feet. You've got a long living dining here. Kitchen, and instead of a breakfast area, they've actually put a little bit of an island, which makes sense. It's a bit of a tough layout to do much in the kitchen. And then you've got 4 bedrooms upstairs, including the master plus the full washroom, and you also have laundry up there. So it's a very efficient floor plan. There's not a lot of wasted space here. It's a great school neighborhood right in Coates, and I think the price is very reflective of what's been selling, hardwood on both levels. So if you have someone with allergies, it doesn't look like there's any carpet in the house. Porch gate is linked by the foundation. We're going to see another one in today's list with that. But outside, it's functionally very much a detached home. 30 by 98 foot property looks pretty good. California shutters, granite. They've dressed the kitchen up, pot lights, and so on. 589 seems a little bit ambitious. I mean, it's a good floor plan. You're well past 2,000 square feet, hardwood on both levels. It's a little bit higher than what I'd expect it to be, but I have a feeling, I mean, getting over 550 won't be a problem. It'll just be, you know, how much more over that. Minchin Way is 599, double car garage. It's around 2,000 square feet. Resembles the Quincy Corner that we just talked about. This is obviously a better kitchen. The 9-foot in both of these models makes a massive difference. Having the higher ceiling totally changes the impression. And you've got your loft upstairs plus 3 bedrooms. So there's a couple in today's list that they do build the 4-bedroom version, and these guys have chosen to do the 3 upstairs. So that can sometimes narrow your audience a little bit, but it's more pronounced when you get higher up in the price range. Weller Crossing is $599. I think comparing across, it's probably not my favorite. It is more than 2,500 square feet, which for this price range, plus the finished basement, they're playing the size game more than they're playing like this sort of look at our outstanding finishes game. So if it's decent inside, it's probably not my favorite looking house. But I don't know if you're going to get more size for under 600,000 than that one there. Aired Court is an Azalea model, so 2,206 square feet plus a finished basement. And so there's been quite a few of these that have sold 510, 520, 530, 540. Even the cap on semis is really at 550. Nothing is really sold past there. You know, this is a very nice looking home. They did the double-sided fireplace here. It's really model home level. I just don't know if someone's going to write a check for $50,000 difference between this home and some of the other ones that have been selling. So let's see what happens. I always root for the good looking homes. I root for people to get to break records and do the best they possibly can. I don't know, $600,000. You can get here 624. You get a 2,600 square foot detached home. You lose the parking here, but you move that garage up. You get more interior living space, and it backs onto green space too. So you've got your 9-foot ceilings here. I think you've got a good working template in this home. There's some areas to improve. Put some hardwood down, paint it. It would depend what the kitchen cupboards look like, but I could take something like this and really transform the way it looks with some very good low-cost, high-return improvements. So there we go. 624 seems very much in line. That model has sold around the 620 mark. Without that green space behind. Galbraith is 629. It's a green park home, about 2,700 square feet. I can't stand these short cabinets. I wish Green Park did the higher cabinets in this phase. It makes a massive difference when you've got the higher ceilings. And so it's a little bit, you know, this home is past 10 years old now, so you do start to see the difference in style. You know, go to the new areas. You've got the brushed nickel handles. This one here has the brass ones. I think it's got a very strong curb appeal. It's also 45 by 94, so it's one of the larger lots you can find anywhere these days. And you've got a great location right in that Hadfield School District where you've got all the commercial zone along Maple. You can walk to the GO train. You can get on the 401 very easily. It's a great location. So Trudeau is 649. And there's the pool. New home with a pool. We haven't seen it very much at all this year. We're towards the end of pool season, but I think that there's somebody right now looking for this, and it's one of my favorite floor plans too. It's called Anatomy Scotswood. Brass. That's the thing. Again, this home is probably past 10 years old, so you start to see differences in the way that they're built. The new lights look better than these ones here. Those will always create a mess when you take them down. Watch what Mattamy did. They took a hammer and smashed the wall, basically. Anyway, great floor plan. Trudeau will get a little bit busier as they start to open it up south of Louis St. Laurent and also north as it connects to James Snow Parkway as they build the new Patterson face. So $649 to me with that pool. I'd like to see a little bit more inside finishes for that price, but you know, the cost to put a pool in, you know, you can't even buy that home for much less than $600,000. So, and it'll cost you usually more than $50,000 for a pool. Forbes is $689. The model home sold just over $700,000. Same model as this. It's a Southwind, very nicely dressed up kitchen. It's funny, they're probably 5 doors down on the east end of the subdivision. So you move over to the Forest on the west side. The Forest Collection is what it's called, and the price range probably jumps up $30,000 or $40,000, as you see from the other one that's for sale right now on Playfair. So anyway, very nice looking home. You're backing onto the park. You've got a nice patio outside. There may not be a lot of grass in the backyard there, but I would say that this one looks pretty good. I think they chose the right price for everything included there. Kincardine is basically $695, 3,000 square feet. The thing is about this is once you start getting up to $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, you've got to have those upgrades. I appreciate the separate entrance there. I think that there's some people that really want that for older relatives or to rent it out. Also like that, I don't see the point of putting Kelso there. It may just be a little bit basic, especially given the area. There was actually some pretty nice upgraded homes in that zone. Swindale's a little bit smaller than I'd expect to find for $700,000. It's very nicely upgraded. You've got hardwood, it looks like, on both levels, and landscaped. It doesn't have a finished basement. That's my concern, is that we're less than 2,500 square feet in a range that usually has much larger. Homes is $749. Last one in this list, then we have 2 more, and we're getting close to the end. I feel it the same way you do. Nice countertops, nice finishes here. It backs onto green space. We're probably about 2,800 square feet, a little bit under that, with the finished basement. So basement plus the green space combined is probably somewhere in the 50 to 60 range. Knock that back and say, would this one sell in the high 6s without that? Maybe. So it's a little bit on the high side, but it's not that far off. 2 more here. We've got Grant Way, which is a linked home, a little bit smaller than the other one we saw today, the linked home. So linked by foundation, but there is functionally a detached home there. 3 bedrooms, right? So they're competing in a range where you start to see 4 bedrooms past 500. Big deck here, 20 by 20. Check to make sure there's a permit. More than 100 square feet requires a permit. Be careful when you ask about permits inside the house, though. It can cause problems. If you want more information about that, let me know. As counterintuitive as that is, that's just the way the system's set up. Granite countertops, under cabinet lighting, backsplash. So it looks like they've done a lot of stuff in here. The finished basement, to me, is the thing that really excites me about this home at this price point. So it looks very good on paper. I have a feeling that it's going to be one of the best picks of the day. And Childs for under $300,000 is a very good pick. It's a condo townhouse. $281 on the fees is a bit lower than we find elsewhere. It's a good complex, and you've got your outdoor pool, you've got your tennis court, you've got nice high ceilings in your family room, you've got that dining room that overlooks it. The kitchen looks like it's in good shape. There's a lot of value here for $299. So if I look through these pictures and you had me guess what the price would be, I would guess it would probably start with the number 3. So if that gives you any sign that it's a good deal, then there you go. So that's the list. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope tomorrow's a smaller list. It's exhausting, but that's the perspective. That's the inside edge you get at Daily Homes. And have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.